Hey, do you guys have a moment? I'd like to talk to you guys about something. See, I was recently listening to an artist by the name of Piff, Marti. You should really check out his music, by the way. And one of his songs called Kinfolk. This song was an attention grabber, to say the least. This song is nothing short of a masterpiece, not just because of his choice of words, but also because of the amount of relatability. And the mixed emotions that I got from this, even if they were negative emotions, prove that the song did its job, and very well at that. In my honest opinion, I love when Piff makes those songs. The songs that pull at your heartstrings and open your eyes. Like, for example, Boys Do Cry, another relatable masterpiece of his. But this song, especially for me, hit way too close to home. It was painfully accurate. But let's dive deeper into this, shall we? Kinfolk is a song that talks about how hard it is to fit in the black community. It talks about how even the slightest difference can get you judged, ostracized, and bullied by peers who don't even look much different than you. This can vary from different things too. It can be how you sound, what music you like, or even how you grew up. And in my case, it was all three, and even more at that. But we'll get into my feelings in a second. For now, I want to get into the message of the whole thing. See, the whole message of the thing is that black is black. However, many black people are ignorant of that fact, and will even go so far as to enforce stereotypes. And it even talks about how these specific ignorant black people won't understand that black is black until something bad happens to us. The problem with how those ignorant people act is that it essentially turns us into a universal enemy. In the worst moments of black history, we would band together in order to protect our lives, our freedom, and our culture. And black unity is a beautiful thing. However, it should be more constant and more frequent, because I'm starting to realize that as soon as we don't have an oppressor to oppose, we oppose each other, and that's disgusting. We will talk about fighting against prejudice, discrimination, and stereotyping, only to use all three of these against each other to divide us. In his song, he brings up two specific events in black history, those being slavery and the Buffalo shooting. Two major events that led to a very strong yet somehow temporary unification of black people. Hell, I can add one more event to this. Oh, I don't know. The murder of George Floyd, the thing that literally tipped black people over the edge. And yet somehow we treat our unification like it's a fucking truce. And as soon as all of that is resolved, we go right back to, haha, you sound different. Do you see how sick that is? And since we're going back to judging people off of differences, let's talk about something very important. Living a different lifestyle. Black people need to let other black people live different lifestyles because there are reasons behind why they do it. For example, I'm from Verona, New Jersey. I spent most of my life living in nice suburban neighborhoods because my mom wanted what was best for me. The hood was not an environment that my mom wanted me to grow up in, and for good reason. Hell, we got robbed on my first birthday. So my mother did everything in her power to make sure me and my sister would live comfortable, quiet, peaceful lives in these nice neighborhoods. And to this day, I have nothing but love and respect for her for trying to give us better lives. And of course, living in a different neighborhood meant different things. Different education, different vernacular, different music taste, etc., etc. But just because I lived a different lifestyle, that does not make me any less black. But of course, many black people did not see it that way, so I was bullied until I cried just for sounding different, let alone for having a different education or anything else like that. It even got to a point where some of my family members treated me differently just because I sounded like this. But as I got older, I started seeing more black people like me. Black people who lived different lives for different reasons, but got judged by other black people for it. And when me and these friends and acquaintances got to know each other better, we realized that regardless of where you started off, how you are now, or where you end up in the future, black is still black. And speaking of living different lives, I think it's best if I say this now. We do not do this to be better than the rest of the black community. We do this so that way we can have better for ourselves and have a more successful future. We do this to bring pride to ourselves, our friends, and our families. We do it to show that black people can excel in this world. And we especially do this to show other black people that they can not only survive, but thrive too. But oh look, rather than letting us live outside of the stereotypical black American culture, here these niggas come trying to tell us that that shit won't slide. Okay, I'm gonna calm down a little bit because I still have two more topics I'd like to talk about. So bonus topic number one that this song could relate to is black people who date outside of their race. I'm going to keep this short and sweet because I do not want to hear from any of you after I say what I'm about to say. So this point can realistically work for anyone, but if you're dating outside of your race and you have no biased or prejudiced reasons, rather you just have a simple lack of racial preference, you're fine. As long as you are not putting down other people of your own race, it's fine. If you disagree with what I said, please put your dunce hat on right now, because you just proved my point, you dumb piece of shit. Another group of people that this song could relate to, as far as the whole black enough part, is mixed people. Mixed people may not be fully black, but they are still black. It's literally not their fucking choice. They may have been born with two different sets of genes, but that does not make them inferior to a fully black person. But black people will judge them solely on the fact that they are of two races. Hell, they'll even go so far as to judge them on their physical features just because a mixed person is different from what a traditional black or person outside of that race would be. At this point, some of y'all shouldn't even be preaching Black Lives Matter. It's more like Black Lives Matter until... To regain my composure, I'm just going to reiterate what I've said numerous times. Black is black. But in order for this statement to be fact, in order for our community to thrive in the future, we need to do better. much better.